by the very best. Today, just like we did last week, we shall be having two segments. So we shall be having a product segment that is going to be taken by me, and then we have a special guest that is joining us later that I'll be introducing after my segment. So I would like to welcome you and really thank you for making the time to join us as we talk Neolife, and we talk business, as we talk health, and as we talk about a better life. So today I'll be talking about, I need to introduce myself. I'm called Susan TUMUHAIRWE. I'm a member of Team Lion Kings, for those who don't know me, and I'm a proud Neolife product user, and I'm very privileged once again to talk about some of the products that I would recommend to you, and I would hope that you'd recommend to the people that you meet as we make money, but also improve lives of ourselves and of those that we get in touch with or we get in contact with. So today I'm going to talk about home care products. And unlike the other products that we normally talk about, where you say, "Oh, I'm still young and vibrant. I don't need to take Pro-Vitality. I'm still very healthy." These products are the ones that I'm going to talk about today, are the ones that we use every day, no matter how old you are, no matter how strong, how healthy. These are products that you will need every day. And these are the products that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about only 4 products in the interest of time. And I hope that, by the end of the session, we shall have shared something that you can take away. So like I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about home care products. And I just wanted to pose a question to you. When you can respond through the chat, but I'll also be giving the answers anyway. But if you want to respond, if you want to interact, you can send me what you think in the chat. So when you think about buying a cleaning product in your home, in your household, what do you consider to be the main important considerations before buying a cleaning product? What do you consider to be important to you? I'm just going to give it just 3 seconds. If you want to write in the chat, it's fine. All right, there you go. So your 3 seconds are over, but I'm sure that you've been thinking about some of the considerations that you think about before buying a product. And I'll share some of mine, before we buy a product that we use. So first of all, oh yes, thank you. Dr. Lawi says effectiveness, and that is actually the first one I was going to mention. So the strength of the product. You bought a cleaning product. Does it actually clean the way it should? Dennis says organic. Perfect. That is also one of the elements that I was going to mention. So yes, the effectiveness. So does it actually do the job that it says it does? Secondly, the types of surfaces that it cleans. Is it a multi-surface cleaner? Because sometimes you don't want to buy 50 products to clean 50 surfaces. So that is it a multi-purpose cleaner? And then number 3, your health. And this is where Dennis mentioned organics. Is it good for your health, or can it actually affect your health? And then number 4 is environmental concerns. Is it environmentally friendly? And this is something that is growing globally, the environmental considerations, because yes, there's I don't know who this one is. I think it's from Homes. It says economical, and that was also going to be my other point. So I was just saying that globally there is a growing concern about our footprint, our what things do you do that are not good for the environment? So we are encouraged to always think about, how we consume, the things that we consume. Are they good for the environment? Are the residues after we've consumed whatever we've consumed good for the environment? So that is something that is becoming more and more something that we need to consider as we consume, think about our generation, but also the generations to come. And then finally, how pocket friendly is this product? And Holmes has clearly said economical. So that is one of the things that we consider while buying products. So thank you very much for the contributions in the chat, and they exactly fall into the reasons that I considered as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that there are products that actually fit into all those 5 that I mentioned, where you find a product is effective, it will do the job. It is a multi-purpose cleaner. It is organic, meaning that it is not going to affect you health-wise. It is good for the environment and also pocket-friendly. Yes, the products exist, and I'm going to talk about some of them. I'm going to talk about Super 10 as the first product. Super 10 is, I would say, in my view, one of, certainly the best cleaning product that I've come across. It is a heavy-duty cleaner, but can also be diluted to a level to become a light-duty cleaner. So it does both heavy-duty, really, really tough stains that you can think of. It will take those ones out, but can also be diluted to a level where you can actually use it for light cleaning. I'll just consult my notes here a little bit. So it is super, super concentrated. I remember when I first joined Neolife, or when I first started using Neolife products, one of the things that I was told was that Neolife does not sell water. And I did not appreciate it at the time, because I was thinking, okay, what does this actually mean? But it actually means that the product that Neolife sells are very, very concentrated, which is not the same as some of the other products which you buy, and you might dilute them, but not as much as you dilute the Neolife products, because the concentration is superb. So it allows you to use a small amount for a longer time, because they dilute, because of the level of concentration that the product has. So I'll give you an example. If you're doing light duty cleaning with Super 10, you have 1 unit of Super 10, and you put in 10 parts of water. So 1 unit of Super 10, and you put in 10 parts of water. And then for heavy duty cleaning, so when you talk about heavy duty, you think about, like garages, thinking about, commercial cleaning, where you have a lot of grit and dirt, and not the home cleaning, which is a little bit mild. But you think about this very, very serious heavy cleaning, then you consider 1 part of Super 10, and then mix with 3 parts of water, and you will have yourself a very clean surface, whichever it is. Also, when you're doing laundry and there is, for example, a spot on your clothes that you want to take care of, particularly, or maybe there is a spot on your couch, you can spray this Super 10 there and let it sit for a few minutes, and then you rub it off. But for the laundry, what I normally do is I spray the Super 10 on the cloth, let it sit for a little bit, and then put it in the washing machine if I'm going to use a washing machine, or then put it in the container where I'm going to soak the cloth. And also, I can mention this now, is that these Neolife cleaning products work well together. They can work well together if you choose to use them together. For example, I've just mentioned that you can use Super 10 when you're actually going to do laundry. So which means you can spray a little bit of Super 10 on that spot. Maybe it's an ink spot on your cloth, or it's another stain. Then you spray Super 10, and then you use the G1 laundry to do the general cleaning. I'll be speaking about G1 laundry a little bit later. So I also thought I should share with you some of the surfaces that are perfect for cleaning with Super 10. These are just examples. There's a whole range of surfaces that you can use to clean Super 10. Actually, for every surface that can be cleaned with water, You know, there are some surfaces that do not use water at all, and they use special substances to clean, but for whichever surface can use water, you can actually use Super 10 and it will do a super job, just like its name suggests. So of course the kitchen is where life begins in a home. So that is the #1 place that Super 10 will do wonders for you. And when you think about the kitchen, you also think about kitchen appliances, you know, like the oven. Some our ovens get, because we use them, you know, for baking, for cooking fatty food and all of that. So sometimes they accumulate fats or grime, and then you know, sometimes they get very hard to clean, but a Super 10 will do a super job in cleaning that oven and getting it back to sparkling, to its sparkling self. But then, of course, you can also clean microwaves, you can clean the cooking surfaces, and you can also use it to soak your pans and pots if they've had maybe things burn in them and have been difficult to clean otherwise. You can also use them for you can also use it for mopping, you see, your lounge, or sitting room, and also your garage, if there are oil spills in the garage. And surprisingly, you can also use it to clean car engines. Who knew? But that is not all. You can also use Super 10 to clean your outdoor area. For example, those of us who have pavers, you have stones, you have pavers, you have maybe, you know, the built surface. You can use Super 10 to get it back to sparkling clean and beautiful again. So those are some of the surfaces that Super 10 can clean, but of course there's a whole range of them that you can use Super 10 for, and it will do a wonderful job. Then the other, just one second. The second product that I would like to talk about is LDC. And as its name suggests, it is the light duty cleaner. So unlike a Super 10, LDC is a light duty cleaner, but also does a wide range of cleaning. So it ranges from people using it as a shower gel to, you know, washing utensils, washing glasses, cutlery, to also washing you know, our delicates, our underwear, because you don't want to have your underwear being washed by products that have chemicals that could be very harmful. So LDC is good for that as well. One other thing that I like about using LDC to wash cutlery, for example, glasses, is that when you rinse a glass, I know you know this, sometimes when you rinse a glass and you've used ordinary soap, sometimes you have that residue in the glass, so you have to wipe it again just to make it look clean. But with LDC, there is no residue at all, so the glass looks sparkling clean after you've done your wash. And it is also very gentle on your hands as well. And just like the other products that I've talked about, the Super 10 that I've talked about is also gentle on your hands. There are products that will be effective in terms of the cleaning. So they will do a wonderful job, but then they will also wreak havoc on your body. So that's why you see people when they're cleaning and are using such products, yes, the surfaces will end up clean, but then they have to wear masks. They have to wear, you know, protective glasses. They have to wear gloves. And that, of course, tells you something. That tells you that that product is actually not very good for the person who's using the product. But even you who comes into the space that they've been cleaning, you're exposed to these chemicals or these toxins because they are still in the air. So you inhale the residues that are still in the air after that cleaning. And that is why we keep saying, and why we shall continue advocating for our people to adopt these products that are wonderful, not just for the jobs that they do, but also for our health as well. Then I'll also talk about G1 laundry. I spoke briefly about it the last time, but I was speaking about it in relation to children's health. But this applies to G1 laundry applies to all of us anyway. So G1 laundry is a washing powder. It comes in 2 kilograms and has a scoop. The scoop is so small that when you first see it, you don't believe that it will actually work. And that is the scoop that you actually use to measure when you're going to wash your laundry. It is such a tiny spoon. I should have brought it with me to demonstrate. It's such a tiny spoon that you use when you're actually measuring the soap. You know, when you look at it and you remember back in the day, for example, for myself, when I was still, before I was introduced to Neolife products, I always had to scoop the washing powder that I'm going to use with my hand. And it was always, you know, maybe 3 or 4 of these. And then you try to shake it in the water, and then you get the foam, and then yes, now I have enough. I have enough that I need to wash my clothes. But this is very different with G1 laundry, because you need only a very, very tiny bit. It is 2 scoops if it is not very soiled clothes, about 5 kilograms, maybe like a fairly big basin full. And if they are soiled, if they are very soiled clothes, then maybe you might need about 4 scoops, but still they're very, very tiny scoops. And if you haven't learned about Neolife products and you don't know how they work, you'd be very, very surprised if you saw somebody putting those scoops in the water and telling you that that is all you need to wash whatever it is that you need to wash. So G1 laundry, besides its being economical, it is very good for taking out dirt in your clothes. So it will work on those tough stains in your clothes. But while working on those tough stains in your clothes, it is still very gentle on the fabric itself. So you'll wash your clothes so many times and it will still maintain that shine. Unlike other products where you put a cloth, sometimes they tell you, no, don't soak that cloth in that kind of powder because it will make it pale. So we don't have that with G1 laundry. You can wash your clothes as many times as possible, and it will still maintain that shine, or the quality that it should be. And then it is also gentle on the hands. If you're using hand wash, it is very gentle on the hands. And then you also do not need to buy a softener. Sometimes when you're using these other products, you buy the powder, but then you also have to buy a softener so that it works. It softens your cloth. But the good thing about this G1 laundry is that it has a softener in it, and also has a good fragrance. So what you get at the end of your wash is you get a very clean cloth, soft, not stiff, also smelling great. So what's not to like, really? It's purely amazing. Then I'll finally talk about care. I also talked about care last time that I spoke. Care is also one other product that you need to have in your home every day and every time. COVID-19 taught us a new level of hygiene. I don't think that anywhere in the world people had ever washed hands and sanitized as much as we did during the COVID-19 era. Much as that was a terrible time, but it also taught us it taught us a lot of things. And one of the things is that we need to have some of these things in our homes at all times. So care is a disinfectant, and it is proven to kill 99.9% of the germs that we encounter. So which means if you have it and you're using it regularly for the times that you actually need it, then you and your family are safe from from getting these germs into your system. So I would normally recommend not only to have it in your home, but have it in your car, have it in your office. You know, have it as something that you move with at all times, so that in case you need to sanitize. You know, we touch money all the time, and money is one of the things that actually carries a lot of germs because it's touched by a lot of people, and it exchanges hands so much. So it is, and I think even though we are using cashless transactions, there's still a lot of cash that goes. Even the phone is actually very, it gets a lot of germs because you touch it, you touch other things, you touch it again, and we don't normally remember to wash our hands because we touch the phone. So having that as your sanitizer at all times is very crucial. But then it is also important to have it in the kitchens, you know, to clean the kitchen surfaces, and make sure that if you're going to say, do something on the kitchen surface, maybe do some cutting of vegetables or whatever it is that you need to do, that you spray and wipe the surface first with care to make sure that all the germs that could be there are gone. But also use it regularly in your toilets and bathrooms. As you can imagine, that is a place that will have a lot of germs. So just to be careful, it's important that you have care in your bathrooms and to use it whenever there is need. And for those of you that have children, I remember still back in the time of COVID, they used to call them something carriers. I think they were the biggest carriers of COVID, or one of the biggest carriers of COVID, because they touch a lot of surfaces, and I think for a time they seemed like they were resistant. So yes, children really touch a lot of things, and the unfortunate bit is that we don't see these germs. The other day I was with my son in the car. We're coming from school, and I asked him whether he'd washed his hands, and he said, "Yes, I have. Look at my hands." And I said, "Well, no, I cannot tell if your hands are clean. I cannot tell from just looking at them if they're clean. I can only be sure that they are clean if you've actually washed them." So yeah, that's the unfortunate bit about germs, is that we cannot see them, but the beauty is that we have the products to use to ensure that even if we can't see the germs, we can protect ourselves from the effects of the germs by spraying this wonderful product and killing 99.9% of these germs. And this is, you cannot get more effective than that, can you? I think that is the best, or that is closest to the best that you can have. When we talk about, those are the 4 products that I wanted to talk about. And now I go back to the initial question of, can you have a product, can you have a range of products that will give you all those 5 things that I mentioned? So as I said earlier, the products are very concentrated. So all the products that I mentioned are very concentrated. I remember the first time I got care, I used it for about a year and a half. And part of that time I was actually in hospital. So while in hospital, I was using much more concentrated amounts. Yeah, as you can imagine, in a hospital, your environment is a bit more sensitive than it is at home. So you've got to be more conscious of what you touch, where you go, and all of those things. So I was using a lot more of the product then. But besides that, I used the product for over a year and a half. And that is care. But all these other products that I've been using, I find that compared to the products that I was using before I started using Neolife products, I have saved a lot of money. So that goes to the affordability, to and they're not toxic. They are not toxic. So there has not been a day ever since I started using Neolife products that I worry that my child is probably in the bathroom and could probably be drinking a product. Yes, of course, I wouldn't let her drink the product, because it's not for consumption, but I do not lose sleep over what if my child took a product, took maybe LDC, because I know for sure that it's not toxic. So I'm to talk about these products, and I say we need to get rid of the products that are toxic from our homes, not just because we have children there, but need to be around things, around products, around environments that I've talked about, but also all the Neolife products generally are biodegradable. So once you you finished washing and you pour the water outside in your compound, be affected. So that's what biodegradable means. It means that it can decompose naturally into the ecosystem and not affect. Last is the issue of it's all these products that I've talked about is the ones for cleaning, besides the care, are all free rinsing. And what that means that once you finish using the product, you do not have a residue that remains behind. And that residue is, for example, when you're walking on tiles and you feel as if your feet are sticking a bit, like when you use other soaps, you feel as if your feet are sticking. There is something that doesn't feel natural on the surface. And that is because the product is not free rinsing. But all the products that I've mentioned and all the Neolife products are all free rinsing. So, and they say that they make water wetter, but that is actually what it means, that you don't have any residue after you finished using the product. So I see my time is fast running, and I don't want to go into the time for a speaker. So I think I'll conclude now, but encourage you, if you're new and have been invited for the first time, please, and need more information, please speak to the person who has invited you to give you a bit more information. And if you hadn't started using Neolife products for your cleaning, for your home cleaning, ladies and gentlemen, you need to really, really think about it carefully, because there is nothing not to like. It is absolutely amazing. I'm completely sold. So all my cleaning is done by Neolife, and I don't think it's a shame that I did not know when I was younger, but it doesn't matter now that I know, and I hope that several will join me and do the same. So ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor, now that I've finished my segment, I have the honor to invite